My name is Megan and I'm a mom. Hi guys, I lost my tripod, so sorry if this is like kind of shaky. I'm also kind of a hot mess today, but I wanted to take a few seconds to film my birth story because I'm super excited about it. It was really crazy and like a positive experience for me. So if that interests you, then you can listen, and then at the end I'm going to tell you about how I prepared my body for birth while pregnant. We'll see how long Alma lets me film, so we'll start like the day, I guess technically the day before I went into labor. It was a Friday. I had a random day off from work, and so my husband and I went shopping all day. We went and got pedicures. We had this like amazing time together, just the two of us. It was really great. I was on my feet all day. I got a pedicure. Those are all things that are kind of supposed to like jumpstart labor, right? And then we stayed up super late that night. We were like ate hot Cheetos, which spicy things are supposed to put you into labor, all that. So we went to bed at like 1:30 in the morning, and then 2:30 in the morning I wake up, and usually being pregnant you wake up to pee, right? That just happens. Well, I woke up and I was like, did I pee myself? Did my water break? What is this? And I rolled over in bed and I felt a huge gush, and I was like, okay, I think my water broke. But I wanted to make sure, so I just got up and I went to the bathroom, and when I stood up, like even more came out. When I went to the bathroom, even more came out. And I was like, okay, yes, my water broke. So I woke up my husband. I was like, hey, my water broke. He was like, are you serious? And he jumped out of bed, and we were like, okay, what do we do? And like we already had our hospital bags packed. You know, we were super prepared, so we just got, and I was like super anxious and like shaky. So I was like, find me some sweats to wear. Like I need to put some clothes on. It was February, so it was cold outside. And then I started calling my mom to figure out what to do with Luna because it's 2:30 in the morning. So we eventually get Luna to my mother-in-law's house, long story short, and we make it to the hospital at about 4 in the morning. So my water had been broken for about 2 hours by the time I got to the hospital. And so we get there and they're like, okay, your water definitely broke, but I hadn't dilated anymore. Like at my appointment the week before, I was dilated 3 centimeters, I think, and then at the hospital after 2 hours of labor, I was at like a 3 or a 4. So they're kind of like, yeah, okay, like, you know, you've been in labor for 2 hours, nothing's happening. So then I like got to the room where you give birth, and they're like, we're gonna go ahead and start Pitocin. And I was okay with that because I had Pitocin with Luna, so I knew what to expect, and I was okay with it. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And I was running on no sleep, so I was like, I'm gonna lay down, I'm gonna rest as much as possible. So that's what I did. They started the Pitocin, I laid down. I didn't sleep, but I like closed my eyes and tried to rest. And then they came back in and they upped the Pitocin a little bit, and after that my contractions were like back to back to back to back. And so I said, hey, I would feel more comfortable if we dropped the Pitocin back down. And so she said, yeah, that's fine, absolutely, you're running the show. Great nurse. So she did drop the Pitocin, but my contractions like continued and continued, moving very quickly. My labors are just really fast. So we dropped the Pitocin down, and then the contractions are back to back to back. I wanted to avoid an epidural because I had a bad experience with the epidural with Luna. And so I was trying to avoid it, but it got to a point where it was like really, really, really intense pain. And so I was like, hey, can you let's call the nurse. Let's see how far dilated I am. Let's see just what's going on. And we called in the anesthesiologist just so I could talk to him, just to kind of make me feel better about things if I did end up wanting an epidural. So we just kind of continued on like that. And then it was probably like 7:50 and the contractions were so painful. I was laboring on a yoga ball for most of the time. Being in bed made everything worse, which if you get the epidural, you do have to stay in bed, but you can use a peanut ball. Oh, baby just woke up. Hang on. Okay, we're gonna try this again. So anyways, I labored back and forth on the, mostly on a yoga ball. I'm just like sitting on a yoga ball. And also like, this is weird, but like going to the bathroom and like laboring on the toilet. It sounds like weird, but it's a thing. But mostly the yoga ball. And then, just trying different positions, switching up positions as much as possible, and just moving. Laying in bed is not going to do you any favors. So it got to the point where the contractions were just like unbearable, and I was like, I don't know if I can handle like another hour of this intense pain. And so I was like, call the nurse, let's see how far dilated I am now again, and maybe I'll see about an epidural. And so the nurse comes in and she goes, oh yeah, that's why it hurts like that. She goes, you're at about almost at a 9. And I was like, okay, is it too late for an epidural? And she was like, well, if you can sit still for it, it's not too late. And I was like, okay. I was like, I don't know, call the anesthesiologist in and we'll just see what happens. She goes, okay. And so she turns around and, well, first she checks me, and to check, you have to get back in bed. So she checked to see how far I was, and I was at like almost a 9. Oh. Shh, 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 shh. Oh no. This is like newborn mom life, right? Okay. So yeah, I was at a 9, so she turns around to start the, like, getting the materials or calling the anesthesiologist or something like that. And I had a really bad contraction. I started like yelling, because vocalizing like helps you get through the pain of the contractions, and also like you don't always realize that you're doing it. So the nurse turns around and she goes, oh, I see hair, the baby's coming. And so she, starts calling like nurses, doctors, whoever needs to be in the room, because it's just my husband, myself, and this one nurse. So she starts calling people while I'm having this contraction, and my husband goes, the baby's head is out, And she turns around, she's like, oh, and then I have one more contraction, and she's like, oh, that's a baby. And so Alma like just came out on the bed. I didn't push at all. She literally just came out, and I would just like was breathing through the contractions, just like letting my body do its thing. And she just came out on her own. It was like so crazy. So the doctor wasn't there. It was just one nurse and my husband, and then like I pretty much delivered my own baby. So she just came out, and then I don't know if like I kind of like, it's almost like tunnel vision, but you kind of just like black out from the pain. And so I don't even know when the it's called like a hospitalist. Hospitalist and like nurses and stuff all rushed into the room. My OB didn't even make it. The on-call OB didn't even make it. And so, yeah, she was born super fast. It was 7:53 when she came. So 2:30, 3:30, 4:35, 36, 37. So we'll say I labored for 5 hours total from the time my water broke to the time she was born. And then since I didn't get the epidural, I was free to move around like as soon as I wanted to. And the recovery was so much faster. And obviously it's not easy, but it was easier from when I had the epidural. I did not tear. I didn't get any stitches, nothing. Just popped out a baby and was just back on my feet. So yeah, that's Alma's crazy birth story. And I don't know, it's just like crazy to think about it and how fast it happened. And I'm so grateful that it went like that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll sit you back up. She has reflux, and so she likes to be sitting up a lot. Come on. Alright, so now I'm going to talk to you guys about what I did to prepare my body for labor. So I follow a lot of the like old wives' tales, I guess, I don't know. But I was drinking, what's that tea called? The red raspberry leaf tea. I was drinking that every day in my 3rd trimester. At 36 weeks, so a week before I went into labor, I started eating 6 dates every single day. And, you're so cute. So I was eating 6 dates every single day. I was drinking the tea, and I was sitting on a yoga ball like as much as possible. I also took a free birthing class at my hospital, and I was following this YouTuber. She's a doula, Bridget Taylor, and just like really researching like labor and how to get through labor and pain management. And I think that really helped and really benefited me. So highly recommend doing your research, and also knowing how to advocate for yourself. Like I don't know, it's kind of empowering when you tell them, hey, turn down my Pitocin, and they're like, okay. With Luna, I didn't know that I could do that. And then also just knowing how to like breathe through your contractions. I learned that from just watching doula videos on YouTube that talk a lot about that. So that was super helpful. The yoga ball was super helpful. And okay. Oh yeah, your tummy does feel hard. Oh no. So highly recommend that, and hopefully this video wasn't too long and boring, and hopefully you learned something. Oh, look at her, she's so cute. Alright, and that's gonna be it, so I can get her taken care of. Alright, bye.